Have you ever had those days when using the law of attraction, when trying to manifest one of your desires, where you feel completely defeated? You feel like the universe just simply is not budging, that none of this stuff works, it's impossible, and you just sort of get in this really sad and negative downward spiral and headspace. We've all been there, none of us are perfect, but in this video I'm going to give you 9 powerful tips that are going to keep you on track and keep you having faith in the process while manifesting your desires. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I make videos that help you empower your higher self and manifest your dream life. Just quickly, if you want to enter in to win a 60-minute free one-on-one coaching session with me, simply comment "it is done" below in the comments, and in my private Facebook group, the Manifestors Academy, I will be drawing out the raffle. If you comment each video, you can get more draws to win, and I'll be announcing that live but also on the channels. Okay, so if you're in a really hopeless state, you're really sad, you're really negative about this whole manifestation process, how can you keep the faith during these hard times? Let's get into the 9 tips. Number 1, love yourself. When was the last time you really appreciated just how much work you put in? How invested you are in your wonderful desires? How much you know, how much you've learned? This stuff isn't easy. Not everyone is interested in this stuff yet, being the creator of their own reality. It takes a certain sense of empowerment, and to even delve into that, to even be trying to manifest these wonderful desires you have to be in that empowered state of mind. Yet when we're so caught up in this, we just kind of expect ourselves to always be aligned, always be in that sense of knowing. We put these really hard expectations on ourselves, give ourselves a pat on the back and tap into our own self-love. And that is quite healing, and it takes the pressure off the situation and makes you more open to realigning yourself with your innate inner power. Number 2 is let this negative feeling state happen. Of course, mindfully, that's the key. That means even though you're in this negative state, you're having all these negative thoughts, you've succumbed to this dense negative emotion, and it's all in your body, it's fogging and clouding up your mind. Yet a sliver of your awareness, if you can, has to remain mindful. Now I know this is very difficult, especially when you're in the moment and there's triggers all around, and when you're in this state, you're actually manifesting even more negative evidence to show just how out of alignment you are. For example, I was in this state recently, and it lasted about a 2-hour window, and in that point, a homeless woman came up to me on the street when I was just standing there waiting for my girlfriend, and started yelling at me and swearing at me for no reason, saying, "What are you looking at?" And I was literally looking at my phone. I'd done nothing, and I went, well, look, I kind of deserve that. That's interesting. But this sliver of you is just aware that I'm the creator of my own reality. This is all normal to feel these emotional purges, to have these downward states every now and then. That's okay. If you can do that, then you can just let go of that resistance, actually feel deeply within the emotion, even more mindfully bring it up, allow it to come out of your being, allow it to leave your body. That's the most powerful way sometimes than resisting it and getting down on yourself even more, is just to accept that this is a natural part of you increasing your consciousness, your vibrational state, and especially aligning your own reality with your desire. You're going to have these episodes. Number 3 is flip the switch. This is something you can do in advance, especially when you're not feeling so down, or if you're feeling down right now, something that you can remember in the future. And that's that these negative episodes only happen because you have just succeeded in impressing your desire, in expanding right up to the brink of your comfort zone, and you've just hit that wall, and you just have to retreat a little bit. You just have to lick your wounds. You're not quite ready to expand beyond that point, but nonetheless, you are growing. You are aligning. And this negative backlash is actually a sign that, whoa, you're making real progress here. This is really happening for you. And the good news is, again, when you look at it like this as a cause for celebration, you're more willing to accept it and do the inner work, do the inner allowing to allow this emotion to leave you, and then a state of clarity comes in, and you're more aligned and you're more ready to be fully recharged and empowered once again. So flip that switch. Define these negative episodes as not a fault within you, but a sign that you are perfectly manifesting your desires and dreams. Number 4 is pause and turn within. When I say pause, I mean remove yourself from everyday life situations as soon as you can. Maybe it's in a couple of hours, maybe you can do it right now. But that means shut down your computer, not this video, keep watching. At the end, shut your computer down. But unplug yourself, get yourself in a quiet situation where you can just breathe and take a few mindful breaths and get grounded in the present moment. And just let those thoughts kind of flow out of you, even if they're a little crazy. You can let them flow out of you, and you can kind of go beyond them and sense within and go straight for that intuitive feeling of your inner power, of your divine essence that I know on some part of you resonates with. This is the source consciousness that spiritual teachers all over the world are trying to point out that we actually are. This powerful, vast inner space. Tap into this and know directly. Know directly that you are on your path. Not thinking, knowing. To reach this state of knowing, it does take a pause and a shift from the cycle of thinking and reacting. That's why it's important to find a quiet space where you can comfortably turn within. I actually have an example of turning within in my own life. When I was in one of these states, it was a few weeks ago, and I had a gift certificate to use a flotation tank. Never done it before. And on that day, I woke up in this funk, this misaligned state. And I knew it was nothing to be concerned about. I knew that I was going to turn within and pause and not do so much work or everyday stuff. I was going to take some time for myself to slow down. And so in this flotation tank, I did that. I took some mindful breaths and I went straight within my own consciousness, and I found that inner knowing. And because you can connect to this directly through your own being, through your own presence, you know that sense of power that it directly can give you. So that's what we're trying to get at when you turn within. You get to know once again that you are truly the creator. This defies all negative thoughts and all negative physical evidence that may suggest the universe is standing still. Number 5 is reflect on the truth, the intellectual truth now. You've connected within, and then at a later time, you can just brush up on all the principles that you have learned, even in watching these kind of videos, in the books that you've read, in the teachers that you've followed in manifestation and law of attraction, and just think how much knowledge you already have and what those principles are, and why you're a creator, and why you're aligned, and why this is normal, and why you do have faith, and why you do know, and why you do have confidence and trust in your own journey and your own path. There's so much knowledge that you have. I know you have it. We all do. You wouldn't be watching this video if you had no clue about what the law of attraction was about and how it works. The trouble is, when we get in these states, we get so in a little bubble that we can't access that amazing framework of knowledge that we do have. And so once we've done all these other things, connect back into that, start jogging your memory, start getting it going, and you'll see that the principles are there. You have the knowledge, you have the foundation, and you also have the internal knowing directly. Number 6 is connect to your desire with fresh eyes. Again, this is a little bit down the road where you're not in the absolute peak of this negative state, but when you pass, when you allow it to flow, and you're feeling a little bit more level, you can connect to your desire and maybe build a fresh scene with it, or maybe go back to the very core reason that you chose this desire and what it's going to give you. Ask yourself, what will achieving this bring me? And there's going to be a series of emotions, wonderful emotions, and it's going to validate your deepest values in life. And just grounding yourself in that foundation once again can be so powerful in inspiring you along your journey to manifesting it. I know in my own journey, I often can get so caught up in the day-to-day grind of everyday life that I kind of forget those core motivations here and there. And it's like I'm imagining and I'm listening to desire tapes and I'm doing my affirmations, I'm doing all these exercises, but sometimes they're not directly connected to this core intrinsic motivation. But after an episode like this, it's a perfect time to reconnect. Number 7 is limit what the objective mind knows. So the idea is you want to limit whatever makes you feel like the world is heavy and too realistic, too rational, too limited, too factual. Whether that's the news that constantly makes you feel like you're in danger, or a certain social media page that makes you feel negative or doubtful, or even a negative person. You may want to limit your time with them. And this even applies to what you'd think would be positive and productive habits, like researching and planning how you're going to manifest your desire. We'd think that would be positive, but it's very left brain oriented, and it gets us bogged down in the details, and that can actually be overwhelming and again make us too concerned about how this is going to happen. We want to just detach from all of this and remind ourselves of the power of the subconscious mind and the power of surrendering to the fact that we've impressed our desire in, and that is the foremost move to make. Number 8 is keep up your habits. Now this may seem like a contradiction to what I just said, but what I mean by habits is I'm talking about the habits you use to impress your subconscious mind with your desire. Whether that be imagining and visualizing, whether that be affirmations or a desire tape, whatever it is, this is actually more about connecting to your emotional self and impressing your subconscious. So it's not as much left brain as it is right brain. So this is actually really valuable because not only are you still connecting to your desire, but you're gaining the self-respect and the self-discipline and the sense of integrity that comes with following through on your habits. This is going to show to you that you're really serious, that your desire is really authentic and pure and strong, and that you deserve this. You deserve this thing arriving in your life. In saying that, don't expect your habits to be very profound and powerful. Sometimes it's just about going through the motions on these days, but nonetheless, try and follow through. You will feel grateful when you come out the other side with that sense of unbroken momentum in manifesting your desires and dreams. And finally, tip number 9 is journal consistently to empty your cup, your psychic cup. This is something that you can do preemptively before you arrive at these really negative states where you really doubt whether manifesting works. You can make sure you're venting your emotions and expressing yourself and contemplating your doubts and analyzing your beliefs so that you're ahead of the game and you're kind of letting yourself get on top of what's building up, this pent-up sense of emotional energy within your body, within your psyche. By expressing it through journaling, 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, a few times a week, you can keep on top of it and your emotions never get that chance to bubble up and almost smother you in these really negative states. I find that this is an amazing technique and I use it all the time. I journal whenever I want to gain that sense of clarity and knowing before I arrive out of alignment with my desires. Alrighty guys, those are my 9 tips for how to keep the faith in the law of attraction process. Many of these are about getting through these inevitable downward spirals, these brief periods where we fall out of alignment. In my opinion, they're completely normal. It's what being human is about and having emotions to deal with. Nonetheless, I hope it helped. Again, comment down "it is done" if you want to roll and win in that free 1-hour coaching with me. Also, like this video, subscribe, check out the Manifestors Academy if you want to see me draw out the winner live, and also you can contact with other people that are interested in manifesting their dreams, and I'll see you in the next video.